Greek Museum: Revenge Against a Rude Tour Guide. Last summer, I took my family to this amazing museum in Crete. Like, this place had artifacts from ancient Minoan civilization and everything. The line to get in was pretty long, but it was moving fast. The staff were actually doing a great job getting everyone through. We ended up standing behind this sweet elderly couple from Canada. They were probably in their 70s, and they'd been telling us about their trip through Greece. Super nice people. We'd been chatting with them for maybe 20 minutes while the line moved forward. Then this tour guide showed up with her group. I get it. Tour guides have schedules and they're trying to keep their groups on time, but this lady was something else. She didn't ask politely to get through. She didn't say, "Excuse me." She literally just shoved her way past the elderly couple like they were invisible. The old man actually stumbled a little bit and his wife had to grab his arm to steady him. People around us were giving her looks, but nobody said anything. The museum staff didn't care. They just waved her group right through. The Canadian couple just smiled and moved aside like it was no big deal. They were too polite to say anything, but I wasn't. We finally got inside a couple minutes later and I saw that same tour guide gathering her group of about 20 people in the first exhibition hall. She was starting her little speech about some pottery or whatever. That's when I decided to give her a taste of her own medicine. My oldest daughter, Emma, had literally just finished a Greek history course at college. Like, she knew everything about Minoan civilization. This was perfect. I walked right up to the display the tour guide was talking about, stood directly in front of it with Emma right next to me. My two other kids saw what we were doing and immediately joined in. We formed basically a wall between the tour guide and her group. Emma started talking really loud about the Minoan palace reconstructions, asking me questions, pointing at things. The tour guide tried to talk louder, but Emma just matched her volume. I could see the tour guide getting frustrated. Her group was trying to look around us, but we kept shifting our position. Every time she moved to a different artifact, boom, we were right there, talking, blocking, acting like fascinated tourists. By the second exhibition hall, I made direct eye contact with her and smiled. Just stood there smiling while my kids talked over her entire presentation. She knew exactly what I was doing, and she couldn't say anything because we were just being enthusiastic museum visitors. She tried to outsmart us by skipping ahead to the third hall, but my two younger kids had already run ahead. They were waiting for her, already standing in front of the next display, already talking loudly about whatever was there. When I caught up with them, we repeated all the same questions Emma had already covered. The tour guide's face was getting red. Her group was getting restless. Some of them were wandering off to look at other stuff because they couldn't see or hear anything anyway. The absolute best part was when one of her group members asked if they could just explore on their own. The tour guide looked like she wanted to scream. By the fourth exhibition hall, she was practically speed walking through, not even stopping to explain things anymore, just pointing and moving on. We finally let her go after that. My wife had been waiting for us in the next section. She'd stayed completely out of it because she knew what I was doing and wanted nothing to do with my petty revenge. My kids thought it was hilarious. We had a great time talking about this massive wooden Minoan palace model that was probably 15 feet long. Emma was explaining all these details about the architecture and the civilization. It was actually really educational. The tour guide never bothered anyone else in line that day, at least not that I saw. And those nice Canadian folks got to enjoy their museum visit without getting shoved around. I call that a win.